Meanwhile, if we look at the same story from a broader perspective, what we are really seeing is not just a change in one commodity, but a shift in how industrial systems evolve. Nickel used to be a supporting material, something stable, predictable, and largely invisible in strategic discussions, but as new industries scale, especially electric vehicles and advanced manufacturing, the role of nickel is being redefined in a very fundamental way. Demand is no longer driven by traditional sectors alone. Instead, it is being reshaped by technologies that require higher performance materials. Batteries are a good example because energy density directly affects user experience, and nickel plays a central role in that equation. Once manufacturers move toward higher nickel chemistries, it becomes a path-dependent choice, meaning the entire supply chain starts to align around it. Aviation, on the other hand, represents a different kind of constraint. It is not about scaling fast, but about reliability under extreme conditions, and here nickel-based alloys remain one of the few viable solutions, which makes the demand both stable and difficult to replace. When you add emerging sectors like humanoid robotics, the picture becomes more complex because they combine multiple demand channels into one system. This kind of layered demand tends to amplify long-term pressure on supply rather than create short-term spikes on the supply side. Concentration of resources and policy adjustments are gradual, reshaping the global landscape. When a country chooses to move from exporting raw materials to developing domestic processing, it effectively shifts more value into its own industrial system and encourages downstream players to relocate or invest locally. Over time, this changes not only trade flows, but also pricing dynamics and strategic dependencies. Another important aspect is quality differentiation. Not all nickel is equal and high grade. Nickel suitable for batteries or aerospace applications requires more complex processing. This creates a situation where overall supply may appear sufficient, but critical segments remain tight, which is why market signals can sometimes look misleading if viewed only from aggregate data. In the end, what we are observing is a slow but meaningful transition, where a once overlooked material becomes deeply embedded in the future of multiple industries. It may not dominate headlines, but it quietly influences how far vehicles can travel, how efficiently engines can operate, and how scalable new forms of automation can become. And that is often how structural shifts really happen, not with sudden disruption, but through gradual accumulation, until the underlying importance becomes impossible to ignore.